Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Dungeons & Dragons, the basic game, is what you're going to get here, is just that. It's a basic edition of playing Dungeons & Dragons. You get some tiles, some very simple rules to start out with. I think you can level up to level 2 on this and kind of go through it. Then you have an advanced book you can jump into that will add other things into the mix and kind of just get you started. Get your feet wet with the system. And it's a great jumping in point. If you got little ones or new people to Dungeons & Dragons, this is a great way to step in. Anybody who's been playing for a while, probably not going to want this. You might want the pre-painted miniatures. They're fairly nice. And I think that might be something people could buy this for. It's a very particular, I think, edition that has those pre-painted miniatures that might be a little bit more sought after. But this is definitely something that you might want to jump into if you're wanting to teach the game. For veterans, there's nothing here for you. You'll want to skip this one on by. So here's Dungeons & Dragons basic game. There's a few different versions of this. This is an older one from Wizards of the Coast with the 16 pre-painted miniatures on it. So that's a huge selling point for this version of it. When you open up inside, you're going to get to read this first, and it kind of walks you through Dungeon Masters, choose a character, the miniatures and tiles, and then get ready. Tells you about sneak attacks and some of the special abilities that are on that. It's very good. You're going to get 2 rule books, a first adventure book and a quick start rule book. So this will be for the players. We'll look through the quick start rules, rather, and you're kind of learn the basics of moving around and having combat actions. Now, the Dungeon Master will look through this, and this is a very easy thing to kind of go through. I'm going to show it to you, but if you don't want to see it, close your eyes. But it'll just kind of walk you through setup of the tiles, how to go through, what things will trigger when, and a look at of how it will go, and take you through the first adventure. So somebody will do this. It is possible to play with this solo. Maybe you'll lose some of the obvious, not knowing that's coming, but it is there. Then you're going to get an advanced rule book that will, after you get through that scenario, which will take you through here, have some random tables, and this is really going to pump up what you're going to see from the game. Alignments will be in here. You're going to see some charts for the different kinds of weapons, etc. You're going to see this will be folded out at the back with the different bad guys and monsters on it. It tells you what you need to get next if you're looking for more, and it has a little scenario back here in the back of the dungeon floor plan, and it kind of goes through everything with that. Now, in here, you're also going to have some pre-made characters. You're going to have an elf sorcerer. You can see on the back, there'll be ability scores. A halfling rogue, a dwarf cleric, and a human fighter that you're going to have. Now, each of these is going to have a miniature that will go with it. I'm going to show you all the miniatures in just a second. And you're going to get some run-of-the-mill dice that are in it. So, have different dice depending on what weapons you're using, etc. You're going to get some tiles in here. You're going to see, let's see, we got 4 of them in here that you're going to have. And they're going to have different dungeons on them. And they're going to be double-sided. Very easy to see. You can see some artwork on this. You can have some numbers that will be triggered, etc. that you'll have. And you'll utilize these during setup and through the gameplay. And this gives you a little bit of a different setting to go through there. Now, the miniatures themselves, they're pretty good. They come pre-painted, so I didn't paint these up. These are all done here in the box. And I'll kind of show you what you're going to get. You're going to get 1 for each of the miniatures. These are pretty good. Not too bad considering this is a mass market. And here's one of the bad guys you'll get, the little giant rat that you'll see. And then I'm going to show you each one, but there might be double. So here's a skeleton that will pop out. And these can be used in different games. They don't have to be just used in this one. And then you're going to see, looks like some kind of animal, but it's a skeleton animal. There you go. Here's some more dice that were kind of hidden over here in the corner. The dreaded 4-sided die. Don't step on one of those. You get more. These are just generic dice. Here's some more characters that you're going to have. You can see a shield and hammer going through there. And here is the elf. You definitely can see that. These are the best miniatures in the world? No, but this came out years and years ago. Another skeleton for you. We got a little guy here. And these are called kobolds. Am I saying that right? I'm not really into the Dungeons & Dragons universe, but there you go. There's a lizard guy. I mean, I think the scope of what they look like, you got the little skull there on the side. Like I said, they all come pre-painted. We've seen that one. We've seen that one. We've seen that one. Here's the dragon. This will be the big boss monster you'll fight at the end of the scenario. You can see he's pretty cool looking. And, much larger than some of the other guys that you see here. You know, the scope and the scale of this is pretty big. Now, I'm not going to kind of show you how to play, but I'll kind of show you the initiative, which will be who goes first based on that number. Whoever has the highest will go first. You're going to have speed, how many squares you can move. You're going to have your sword, so when you attack, die 20 plus 4, so whatever you roll on the die 20, you add 4. And your armor class and your hit points that you have. You go out of hit points, obviously you're going to die. And how to roll the dice to kind of do that. Then you have some abilities when you want to move on. The skills and some of the things you'll have in more of the advanced games that you have. I'm not going to do a flow of the game. This is really just a Dungeons & Dragons introduction. I wanted to show you guys what the components look like. But let me kind of show you the rule book a little bit here. So when you kind of go through the rules, you know, moving, you just move the number of squares for your speed. Attacking, if you're melee, if you're next to them, the range, they'll have a number of spaces you can shoot from. Very basic stuff that you're going to have in this one until you get to the advanced rule book. It's going to add in some more adventures and stuff that you can do. I believe you can go up to level 2 on this, but once you're at level 2, you're on to the real version of Dungeons & Dragons. So that's kind of what you're getting here. A little bit of a sneak peek of what you have. Other than that, we'll move on. I'll tell you who should buy this game and who this may be for. Who should buy this game? This is going to be strictly for new players. If you want to get your feet wet, kind of jump in and learn a little bit about the system, but you want to, before you invest in all the books and all the literature, you want to get a start. This could be it. Otherwise, not for you. For me, it's going to be a Purge. D&D's not really our thing, so we're going to pass on this one and look for something else to get our storytelling needs.